Hi everyone, Blessed be. I'm going to show you how I fill these glass little fillable ornaments to turn them into witch balls or protection balls. So first of all, you just pull the top off, and there's like a sort of bent piece of wire. If you push in the two sides, you can pull the top off easy. Then I start off with like some moss or something just to bulk out the contents and just fill it a little, because otherwise when you put a few herbs in, you might have it where it looks like there's just a few things at the bottom, and I like the witch balls and things to look nice and full. And I haven't got the sound on this one, even though I did record me making it, because I've made this for someone else. But you can see what I'm doing anyway, and I'll talk through it. Ignore the state of my hands. My eczema is going insane at the moment. I don't know why. Something set it off. And my finger, I cut my finger, so just ignore the state of my hands. They're a bit battered at the moment. So I've got this like mossy stuff. This was just out of some potpourri, but it doesn't smell of anything anymore, so I used that inside. This is just to fill up the bottom a little bit. I like to do this if I've got some moss that I've dried from my garden as well, but I've run out, so I'm using this at the moment until I dry some more. The moss I had, I've used in my display for that skull that I displayed. Then I'm adding some sprigs of rosemary for protection. This is to wish the person protection from negativity and protection from bad health and ill will. So this is to protect them and their home. And I always like to put some of the fresh dried rosemary that I've got from my garden, and then some of the supermarket bought dried rosemary that you can get quite cheap as well. I like to add both. The one from my garden smells far better because obviously it's fresher, but both will work. If you've only got the one, like the ones from the supermarket, herbs wise, then use those, it's fine. There's no problem with that. So I did plenty of that because obviously this is for protection, this little ball. And I'm just speaking into the ball and saying what I want the intention to be, what purpose I've put the herbs in for. I like to do that every so often as I'm adding herbs and things. Then next I'm adding, if I can see what I'm doing, next I'm adding some eggshell, some crushed up eggshell, good for protection workings. Add a couple of pinches of that. I could have done with like making like a little funnel or something out of some paper for this, but I'll do that next time. I don't mind making a mess anyway, it's fine. Then next thing I'm going to add, I added a bit more rosemary there, and plenty of lavender. I like to add lavender to all my workings anyway, but it's a good one for love and to bring like love and joy to the home and to the working. And I just love lavender anyway. I put lavender in everything. Then I'm putting some rose petals again, so the home is filled with love and positivity and happiness. And also with the rose petals, it adds lots of lovely colour to the piece as well. Then I added some pine needles, which are good for protection as well. And I'm adding a little bit more of those. I like to add plenty of each herb. A, it fills up the ball, and B, it just looks really nice as well once it's done. Plus I want plenty of that energy in the ball. So I'll put in some more lavender. I like to do layers as well and alternate the colours as well to make it look nice. And then I'm going to add some more rose petals, because I really liked how the rose petals looked on this. And then I've got some black salt to absorb negativity. This is where I really could have used a funnel, but never mind. I have got a video on a black salt recipe uploaded if you want to know how to make it. It's dead easy to make yourself. And then even more rose petals for that love energy, for that joy energy. And if you find some of the ingredients get stuck in the sort of neck of the ball, just use a stick or something to poke it down. I got some little twigs in the end, but I did use another sprig of rosemary just to shove that first one down a little bit. It was a bit long really, I could have done with shortening that sprig of rosemary, but never mind. I finangled it into place eventually. And then I added a little bit more. So I've got alternating layers of like rosemary, rose petals, lavender, things like that. There's a little, and black salt, and I did put a bit of my glitter in there as well, which is like a black and silver glitter that's mixed into some black salt that I made before. And a crushed up bay leaf so that the spell comes true, and to protect the working. So as you can see, I'm just layering bit by bit various pinches and pieces of the herbs that I've chosen for this working. I want to see all those lovely colours. And always make sure that when you make these that you use herbs that are thoroughly dried out. Don't use fresh herbs because they can go a bit mouldy and funny in the glass ball because the moisture can't get out. So what you need to do is have thoroughly dried herbs to use for this. Then I'm adding some cinnamon to bring speed to the working, and again to bring prosperity to the home and abundance. I'm just picking up any little bits that fell on my cloth. Then next I added some garnet to bring abundance to the home, and some obsidian for protection, the pieces that fit anyway. The one piece of obsidian wouldn't fit through the neck of the bottle, the ball. I also added some clear quartz as well to amplify the working. If you've got nothing else, you can just add clear quartz to stuff like this because it does work quite well. Clear quartz works for anything. And I added a bit of my glitter. The blue flower in there was one I found on my table. Can't remember what it was, but I just felt compelled to add it, so I added it. I do tend to work quite intuitively, so I just go with what feels right. Then to put the top back on the jar, on the ball, what you need to do is press in the two pieces of wire that are sticking out. You'll see in a second when my hand goes back on camera. So you've got to press those two pieces of metal in and pop them in the neck of the jar. And then that's what holds the lid on, because they spring back out once they're inside the jar and hold everything into place. Now obviously I'm removing the silver thread because this is obviously a fillable bauble that you can use for Christmas ornament, like a Yule ornament. But obviously I'm not using that for this purpose, so I will change the thread to black because obviously the colour correspondence for protection workings is black. And then I've got some sealing wax which I'm going to use to seal the top of the ball. So once melted, I poured my sealing wax over the top to cover all of that silver top on the ball, and then I've put a blob of wax at the front, and I'm just going to press my seal into it, which has got a pentacle in it, like so. And you can leave it like that, but it does come with these little metallic pens that you can use to make the design stand out a bit more. So I'm just going over the pentagram to make it stand out. Don't worry about the circle, like so. And then I'm just using some wax just to finish off covering any of the top that's exposed, the silver top. And then I'm going to use another candle, like another black candle, to create some more drips, and I'm going to melt the drips of the sealing wax a little bit more so it runs a little bit more, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. And once completed, it looks like this. So I've got lots of that lovely wax dripping down to seal it in. Got the pentagram on the front. Got all the lovely ingredients in there, and then I've tied a black cord to the top as well to hang it up. And that's it. That's what it looks like when it's completed. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.